Welcome to the Age Well Home and Lifestyle podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Bradley. I'm the founder of Age Well Home and Lifestyle. This podcast is rooted in one essential truth. To age well and thrive, we must be radically curious. Curious about who we really are, about what truly matters. Curious enough to question everything we've been told so we can finally design a life and home that reflects our truest selves. Here we treat life as our masterpiece. We see ourselves as detectives gathering clues, uncovering our deepest gifts, and consciously curating a lifestyle and home that is both healing and fulfilling. Join me for solo episodes and conversations with guests where I help us get closer to the root of living our best lives in mid-age and beyond. Whitney Elliott is the owner of Be Organized Portland, where she and her team of bees help clients simplify their hives, creating spaces that are customized, sustainable, and filled with peace of mind. With her beliefs, and that's BEELIEFS, beliefs, in mind, compassion, judgment-free, and confidential, Whitney has built her company into one of the Portland metro area's go-to resources for home and business organizing. Passionate about transforming lives through decluttering, Whitney believes that an organized space leads to a clearer mind and more intentional living. She and her team specialize in everything from downsizing, decluttering, and organizing, all with a judgment-free, supportive approach that makes clients feel empowered rather than overwhelmed. When she's not helping clients reclaim their spaces, Whitney is a proud mom of four, creative home designer, and believer in the beliefs that guide her brand: compassion, hard work, and joy in simplifying life. Today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, which is decluttering. And we have Whitney here from Be Organized. So Whitney, share a little bit just about you, your company, and what you do.
Thank you for having me first. So excited. We really specialize in customizing systems and solutions for individuals in their home so they can live a more simple life, do the things that they love, really enjoy their space, and not have that really like feeling of overwhelmed emotions and stuff just kind of following them around, so that when they walk in the door, they can relax and enjoy the family.
And that is exactly, and we spoke before, and again, I'm so excited for this conversation because we don't realize how much clutter affects us. And that's the first thing I want to talk about and have us kind of conversate about. Clutter. What is the science in your realm, belief system? What is the science of clutter? You know, when we walk in our house and that clutter is there, what is the science and psychology of what that does to us?
Well, um, I think it's different for everybody. We all have a different relationship with our stuff, whether we think more about how much money we spend. It's a memory that we have. It's a goal that we want to aspire to. Everybody's different, and it can change for each space in our house. It can change for the time in our life. But understanding how you relate to your stuff and who you are can really help you work with that and deal with decluttering, or kind of take the first step and then be able to maintain it. So we want to help you understand who you are in relationship to your stuff. And if it's maybe you're really a memory keeper in your storage unit or your basement, but you're just in caser in your bedroom, um, it really can help you kind of look at things differently on why you're keeping things, why you're struggling with getting rid of things. Because we see so many people that are frustrated with why they can't get rid of this stuff. They know it's not making them happy. They will openly say, I really don't like this, but I can't get rid of it. And so we want to have that conversation. Why? What is it that's so hard to get rid of something that makes you mad?
Yeah, yeah. And it's pausing, it's that time. We all, and not to judge ourselves because we all have done it, we all have clutter here and there. And especially midlife and beyond, I think of the clients I work with, they have sometimes have a house full of stuff. And I know for me, the neuroscience of everything I'm fascinated with. I've spoke about this before, huge healing journey in the past where I really uncovered neuroscience, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and what that subconscious programming does to us. So on that neuroscience level, that clutter just makes us feel heavy and it decreases our focus. Subconsciously we walk into a space, there's stuff, and our brain, especially as women, is going in all different directions, but we don't realize that it's affecting us. We don't realize that we can't focus on the one thing that we want to because that stuff is around. So when somebody works with you or works with me with lifestyle design, it helps them pause and say, why? What is going on? And it takes the pressure off of them because it's not their fault. We often don't know.
Yeah, and even when different things happen in our life, whether we lose a loved one and we collect a lot of that stuff, then we gain this guilt that
Yes.
we can't get rid of it
Yep.
because it was mom's or grandma's or it's been in the family for years. But there's a way that we can deal with it where we're not just trashing it and having no respect for it, but it's also not causing you added stress in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. That guilt for, I see that so often too. There's an object and it could be, you said it before, the what if I'm going to use this one day, and almost a scarcity, a subconscious scarcity emotion. We have so many emotions going on. Or it can be the guilt of, oh gosh, my mom gave me that china, crystals, furniture, whatever. That was so meaningful. So when you have somebody going through that, let's say a piece of furniture that your grandma gave you, but you don't want to keep it in your space, what is your solution or advice for somebody in that situation?
If they're already kind of in the mindset that they don't want it in their space, then it's what will make you feel good about where this goes. There are so many different places that we can find a new home for it, donate it. I mean, you can sell a lot of stuff, um, but making you feel good about where it goes, we want to help with that. Everything does not have to go to the trash. If they're struggling and they're not so sure if they're ready to get rid of it, and we're kind of in that in between phase, then it's asking a lot of questions. Where where do you imagine it possibly going? Do you think you're going to use it within a year? Does it make you happy? Is it irreplaceable? Are you just storing it to store it? But also kind of bringing up that vision of, if this wasn't here, what would you be doing in this room? Or how would you imagine this room to be? I think that goes great with what you do as well, is imagine your dream space and you don't have these emotions with the things. What would you have? And then it kind of makes things a little easier to walk through those choices on what's really important, that I would be very sad if it wasn't here.
Yeah. And I think too of just taking the time to say it is a sofa, taking the time for that person to, sometimes I'll have people write down a story. It could be taking a picture and then writing down a story to keep it with them in some type of photo album, so that they write down the memory of, like, oh my God, on that sofa, I used to sit with my grandmother. I'm literally thinking right now of the rocker that I used to sit with my grandmother. And honestly, she was smoking cigarettes most of the time when I was like sitting with her as a little kid. And if you're my age, you'll appreciate that because it was just a normal thing that everyone was smoking, which is why I have to detoxify my life so much now. But anyway, the story, writing down the story of that object and just taking that time to write it down and kind of have it as closure. The story of what it was, what it meant to you, what it maybe meant to that person who gave it to you, and then you can let go of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
because a lot of times they're like, I love my memories in it. Every time I walk past it, I get so irritated. Like, we got to do something about this.
Yeah, and think of its bad memories.
Right.
So it's something that, a relative or someone gave you that you had negative energy around, then that subconsciously goes into your present. Um, so I feel like in this conversation about the psychology and science behind stuff, I think one of the biggest things I want everyone to think about is just notice what comes up for you in your space. Take time. And if you need somebody to help, both of us do that type of work. You, in regards to helping to actually get rid of the stuff and reorganize. And on my side of it, around the lifestyle design, is getting to that subconscious programming, asking those questions, going deeper and deeper and deeper with those questions. Um, and sometimes it's not that deep. Sometimes it's just like, let's just get rid of it and move on.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so what was it? I know your past work and your life story, but what was it that got you into decluttering, organizing? Why did you choose this as the next step on your career path?
Well, my past is in healthcare. I was a speech and language pathologist and worked in the hospitals and did home health, working with a lot of stroke patients, um, going in, helping them. I did a lot with swallowing disorders. So I would go into their homes and work with families to get them back to a healthy diet. And when I would go into homes, whether they were moving into a senior community or they were just going back to their homes, I saw a lot of scenarios that then were also talking about safety and can they get around the house? And there was a lot of stuff in some houses, and they all of a sudden were becoming very concerned about that as well. A lot of them didn't have family that could just help them and be with them all the time, and they'd be just moved into senior communities, and boxes would be piled up, and nothing would be unpacked. And it broke my heart. Um, I have actually moved 30 times. And
That one I didn't know. Oh my golly, that's a lot of times.
and so for me personally, and I have 4 kids, so getting those things in order and having everything in its home, and so my family could get back to our normal routine when we moved, was a big priority for me. So it kind of all blended together that someone just randomly recommended that I should get or I should look into professional organizing.
They're like, you've done it so much, you might as well just become that.
And I never really thought of it as organizing. I thought of it as I have to unpack my family's stuff so we can live our lives. But that's during one of the most stressful times in people's lives when you're moving. A lot of times it's job change, everybody's super stressed out. And so I looked into it and learned Be Organized also really has a service for seniors and decluttering and getting people into their home to where they feel safe, and if they are going into a senior community and they're not feeling really excited about it, we can help with that and get the pictures on the wall, kind of reenact their whole home. So I was like, oh, I can kind of still keep working with seniors and unpack and organize. This is great.
Yeah.
And it really just kind of kicked off from there. And I jumped in 100%. And I guess it's just a passion that I've learned it's not easy for everyone, where it does come a little bit more natural to me. But the feeling of what I get and what my team gets when our first meeting with the client is that they are stressed and overwhelmed and crying and they don't even know where to begin, to when we're leaving and they're so happy and excited and crying happy tears, is the best because they get to go do what they love to do and not have boxes piled up for weeks or months and even years. We've gone into homes years later and they're like, I just haven't gotten to those boxes yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's decreasing that stress and letting people do what they love.
Yep. I love that you brought up the before. Well, one, I just want to say in regards to your past work, I think so many of us, again, physical therapy, I did psychology undergrad, physical therapy masters, and each layer informs the next work that we do. And I know for me, one of my very first jobs out of grad school was working outpatient. But for extra work, 'cause I always loved to do other things, different things. It was an older gentleman who I went into his house and we were doing safety assessments in people's homes. And he was in his 80s, 90s, I don't remember exactly, lived with his family, which was fantastic. But when I entered the house, it was stuff upon stuff. And that was my first, like, oh, this is interesting. Going into somebody else's house, not only seeing them in the clinic, but then you really get to know them when you see their home. And I worked again, this wasn't super professional at the time. This was my first job out of grad school. I'm like, I think you need to clean up this stuff. So it wasn't, again, super like pattern, but then I made it my work because I realized, oh my God, like we need to look at the homes. So anyway, long story short there, we ended up clearing space. And remember, with the neuroscience, even if that older gentleman with the walker doesn't consciously say, oh my God, there's a lot of stuff, it's hard for me to walk through, the brain is in all different directions. So when I think about my work now in regards to aging in place or design, it's so much about just clear the clutter so that we can be our best selves in the moment, no matter what age. Um,
Well, we talk about it all the time on like our workspaces. Clear your desk at the end of the day so you can start fresh in the morning. And when we're talking about safety precautions for people just being able to walk with a walker, they're having to focus on walking and that one thing. And they might not want to truly admit that totally.
yeah,
But when you have all this stuff, it's, oh, there's the book I wanted to read. Oh, I should get a snack. Oh, I got to pay that bill. And all the distractions that are going on as you walk in the house, which goes with us too. If you walk in and the kitchen is just, there's stuff all over it.
yeah.
I
This
know
is
when I get
anybody,
home, if my kids have messed up my kitchen before I have to start making dinner, I have to clean it before. I'm
right?
stressed.
Exactly. It's for all ages.
Hmm.
It's systems and processes. And this is again where we often overlook the benefit of having a mentor, a guide, hiring a company, for us to communicate these things and have somebody else helping us say, okay, what is the why? What do we need to do about it for you personally? And then creating new systems and processes to move forward with. And that's where, it's like I think of what's the big organization store? Container store. Hello, I don't know if they are a multi-billion dollar company, but whatever they are, we sell a lot of organization stuff. But so often we don't need that. It's about getting rid of stuff to help us be our better true self in the moment.
Oh,
Um,
a lot of times I tell clients that's to make it look pretty. It
right.
doesn't necessarily always work. I mean, my kids age from 2 to 14, and my 2-year-old is not organizing like you're my 14. So give a basket and let her throw it in it. Um, but we'll go in and people have hundreds of bins in their house because they're trying to organize, but then there's just bins.
It's like a band-aid. It's
Yeah.
putting a band-aid on the actual issue. I know for me, honestly, I'll admit my garage is kind of that bin right now that I need to declutter. It's that like, oh, we'll take it out of the house, which is one step. Now it's in the garage.
Yeah.
So we're all not perfect. Just because we
No.
know these things,
Well, the
we
garage is out of sight, out of mind.
right until I go in it. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so another thing I wanted to share in regards to the spaces we create, or one of the things that helped me bring this work into my life professionally, when years after that situation and helping people with safety in their homes and da da da, I had gone into nutrition and health, wellness coaching, and I was working with a woman in the clinic for months. And we got really far in her mind, body, emotion, soul work, in her nutrition and food. And we started to go to the grocery store and bring food home to her kitchen and start to make food in her space. And I really realized, and this was a woman who I had been working with, and then she was diagnosed with cancer. So we were doing a food, nutrition, lifestyle change for cancer and healing. And when I walked into her space, beautiful, amazing home. This was when I was still in Washington, D.C., but so much clutter. And that was the epiphany for me to really be like, okay, there's deeper stuff here than no matter what the diagnosis is, the clutter can literally dysregulate the nervous system, increase cortisol. So I just wanted to share that story to emphasize even the health aspects of things. You, as a speech therapist, me, physical therapy, health, coaching, whatever it is, remembering that your health and your home are directly related. So whether it's the decluttering, and for her too, part of us starting to just declutter the space, it was also finding mold in her bathroom. So could it be things like that, even that help you get to the deeper stuff after you remove the superficial clutter?
Yeah. You can't clean your house if you can't get to all the floor.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even your fault. You could
Yeah.
clean it as much as possible, and it could be toxic paints.
Hmm.
It could be bringing in plastics or yucky other materials, whatever it is. So just wanted to also bring up again the health aspects of it's not just superficial clutter. It can really
No,
compound year after year.
and it's clutter in your brain, and you just can't think clearly and make the best decisions when the focus isn't there and your mind is kind of distracted with everything else, no matter what it is.
Yeah. Um, okay, so do you have like one particular story that you can share in regards to like a before and then after? I'm sure you have so many, but maybe just one example of that before and after
Um,
situation.
I do. I mean, I, there's probably five that just came to my head so quickly, but they all generally have the same theme, and it's they are calling and they're emailing, and it might be a year before they finally let me come into their house to do the assessment because it's hard. It's embarrassing. It's admitting that you need help, which we all struggle with.
Yeah.
We're grown adults who have had careers and been able to take care of ourselves, but now we need somebody to come essentially clean our home, is what they're thinking.
And before you continue, and sorry to interrupt, I just want to really emphasize what you said about help. Asking for help. It's not something to be shameful about. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I didn't do it because I feel ashamed," or they might not say that. But we know that asking for help can be hard. So just putting out there, it's okay to ask for help in decluttering and things like that.
It is. And I'll be the first to admit, when my last time I moved, I brought my team of bees in and they helped me unpack because I am a mom of four. I own a business, like, and I
And
just needed it done.
yeah, and she said team of bees. So just in case you didn't get, her company is Bee Organized, BEE. And again, I'll share all the details and show notes and all that kind of stuff. But just so you understand that reference, she brought in her bees because she has a whole team.
Yes, and they did a great job. Um, but we finally get to go in and do the initial assessment, and there's stuff everywhere. It's hard to walk through the house, or there's no like real clear paths. There's no real system or home for anything. Um, I think mail is a big struggle for people that we're always working on. Where do you put your mail that you're bringing in? Half of it we don't need; it's junk, but we have to make sure that we go through it. Um, and they're just overwhelmed. They're like I mentioned earlier. We get a lot of tears. They're embarrassed. our biggest values that we say we all have is that we're compassionate, judgment free, and confidential. But no judgment, and compassion is by far the most important to me. And we constantly hear from our clients that they feel that. And that's because we want to work through it with our clients. And it might take months. And those are the ones that I think are the most memorable, is that we are going each week and doing small increments at a time. We want to customize it for them. So it can be exhausting, and making the decisions is really hard. So if it's just 3 hours, we're here for you for as long as it takes to get through each little section.
And decision fatigue is a thing, and that's hard. So, again, I'm continuing to interrupt here a bit just to emphasize some of these things. The decision fatigue, that's again part of that subconscious. Oh my God, it's another decision, another decision, another decision. So it sounds like with Be Organized, you customize and you space out if needed, or you do longer sessions if needed.
Yes. And we have plenty of clients that are like, oh no, I'll be good. Let's get in and get this done. I want it done by this date. And if you're starting to make bad decisions, we're going to say, no, we got to stop, because we need to do this the right way so you can maintain it. And so, I mean, the client that really sticks out to me the most is the one that just wants the garage done. You can't walk in it. It's filled to the top. You can't see anything in the back. It's usually around springtime because we've gone through the winter and just thrown everything in there. And then they said, we definitely don't need anything else. I'm a very organized person in the house. And then we come back and we do their kitchen. And then it was so great. They want their closet. But they start to realize how it made them feel. They're okay opening the garage. They can pull their car in the garage. And they're like, I leave my garage door open now, and I'm not embarrassed by my neighbors. And then it goes into the kitchen, and they're like, my whole family knows where to put things, and I can find it when I go to cook. And they continue calling back to say, it changed my life. It really changed how I live in my home. I feel like I own this space instead of it owns me.
I love that quote. Say that again.
I feel like I own my space instead of it owns me.
Yes,
And
yes.
it is like, we all have our moments in life. It gets crazy and chaotic. I have mine for sure. And it's being able to take back control and know that you still own your space and can do that. So those are the ones that I know we truly met our goal, and they're going to be able to maintain it because they know the systems. They got rid of the stuff they don't need or love, and they really only have what they love in their home.
Yeah. I love that. Them owning, them being in control, the after being the feeling and saying, okay, now I'm ready to live the life I want to. And I think of that, it's like if you imagine all this clutter, yuckiness, da da da, you uncover the why, get rid of the stuff consciously, decide consciously how you want to curate your life. And that's where, again, we're going to create some kind of package to work together. But even in the midst of you're uncovering, you're physically getting rid of stuff. But when you need help uncovering, well, where do I want to go? What is my true self? And I think of it almost as like you're jumping into your vision board. It's like you have all this clutter and stuff from the past, it's affecting you, but you have a vision. You sense and feel who you want to be, what you want to be doing, how you want to be feeling in your space, but you just can't get there. So you hire Be Organized to help you get rid of stuff and reorganize. And then working with lifestyle design, we uncover simple. I say simple because the processes are simple. It takes time, but you uncover your true self and what you want to be doing and feeling, and not just because you looked at Pinterest or Instagram and you're following what somebody else is doing, but how do you want your home to help you be the best version of you? So it's consciously curating what that looks like and then creating the space So it could be organized. And then where I come in is helping with those neuroaesthetics, recreating the space so that the colors, the textures, the materials. So for my interior design work, it's not interior design and okay, let me pick out all the latest fads and the fake furniture and da da da. And there's people for that, and that's perfectly fine. If somebody comes to me and says, "Can you redesign my whole whatever just in the most up to date trends?" That's not my joy or my skill. My skill is helping people create spaces that literally they can become a better version of themselves subconsciously.
Hmm.
So, just like we were talking about the subconscious lack of focus, increased stress hormone, decision fatigue, subconsciously how the space makes you feel, we create spaces that subconsciously help you feel ease and calm and peace and joy. And that's in the colors, the materials, healthy materials, non toxic, not paint or furniture that's going to off gas stuff and make you more sick.
Right.
Um,
Well, and a
so,
lot of times I
yeah,
don't think people even know how that or that can happen. I think
exactly.
is that um, the relief, the release that you get from that, and like you're saying, colors. Yeah, the trend might be very gray, and you might be more of a bright person,
Yeah.
but um, that is the best. Is that they say, "I didn't know I could feel this way."
Yes, exactly. And there's so many layers.
Yeah,
It's like, oh my God, they already feel better just with the space cleared out. And then imagine if we also curate
yeah.
it to be in alignment with the vision that they want to create.
Hmm.
And what I started saying before was I think of it as a vision board that they have started to kind of in their minds, or they might have a physical vision board if people are into that. But it's stepping into that vision board and actually creating that. And it's not, I want to say, I want to give people permission to again ask for help. And I think of this in midlife. Midlife is such, I'm 49. I work with a lot of women in midlife and helping them to consciously get rid of everything that doesn't serve them and only keep the things and thoughts and feelings and da 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 that does serve them. So midlife, but it could be any time to take time, let go of old stuff, and only keep what's going to serve your highest good moving forward. Okay, so again, we'll talk more about exactly what a package can look like, but something in regards to, and we'll put it in the show notes and put it out to everybody, something in regards to, okay, a session, sessions, whatever each person needs for actually getting rid of the stuff, a session or two in regards to lifestyle design, really curating what that true self is, how you want to move forward, and then creating aesthetically. If you haven't heard of neuroaesthetics, it's a newer term, but really it's just, again, the science behind how your space makes you feel, creating a space that actually helps you become a better version of you. So we'll talk more about that. Um, what any final things you'd like to share and also share website, company, all the good things where people can find you.
Um, yeah, I mean, so we give free assessments to at least see where you are in life and tell us what is stressing you out, what your vision is, and what your dreams would be. We are at beorganized.com and we are at beorganizedportland on all the socials.
Fantastic. And B is BEE,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Yeah, which I love. It's just so cute.
For the busy bees.
Thank you so much for this. And again, I could keep talking and we
Yes,
could share
thank you.
stories forever about this stuff.
You.
Both of us are in Wesleyan, love to serve the Wesleyan community. But even, have you ever done virtual assessments or virtual work at all?
We give the option for our assessments. They can be virtually or in person. A lot of it depends on kind of how big the project is. If it's a big, let's do the whole house, I want to be in there. But we can always do an initial virtual call and get the details going. I have not done too much virtual work we did back closer to the pandemic, but we do have plans. Like if we have some clients that are more DIYers and just
Yeah.
want tips and tricks on how to do it, so we get them set up. And a lot of times we get them started with one area and then give them homework and they can keep going.
Yeah, that's what I'm glad I asked that question here, because I find that too. It's not, you don't have to be there with them in all the situations. It can, and especially with video these days, you can literally see through the home, almost be there while they're doing it, or even having somebody wherever they are with them doing something, but you're guiding them in regards to the why, the systems and processes, and all that. So local or virtual for all of this. Um, thank you, Whitney. This is
Yes, thank
fantastic.
you.
I know we're going to have lots more befores and afters, and we'll share them, and I'm sure we'll do this again. So thank you. Thanks for tuning in to the Age Well Home and Lifestyle Podcast. If this episode sparks something in you, share it with a friend or family member. Let it be the start of a real life, meaningful conversation, because that's how we grow together. And I'd love to hear from you. What topics are you curious about? What questions are on your mind? Reach out and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, live true, and keep creating a life and home that's aligned with your truest self.